What is going on, everybody? Thammagotcha here. Welcome into another Ultra League video. This time we're going to be using the same team because, well, it's my favorite team that I've made so far and it is absolutely amazing. So let's jump into these battles here and check out this little run that I went on. 10 battles for everybody today. 10 growth. Haven't seen that Pokemon in absolutely forever, along with Cobalion. My goodness, where are all of these Cobalions coming from? I don't know. Gonna shield up the Stone Edge and then we're going for the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball will definitely one-shot the Cobalion, and if they want to come back in with the Tangrowth, which they don't, they just top left. GG's, and thanks for playing. Shout out to Jamie Finn. Hopping into the next matchup. So Ampharos, what I like to do with these leads here is I like to build up to the drill run, bait with the ice punch, and then go for the drill run after that. But they decide to hop into a Cresselia. Completely fine with that. Gonna go get the shield advantage here with the drill run. I'm gonna make sure they throw energy before swapping into my Skeledirge. Future Sight gonna do a boatload of damage for being resisted to that Alolan Sandslash. My goodness gracious. But we're able to get to the Shadow Ball. It's not gonna be enough to one-shot this Cresselia, but we get both shields, which is absolutely massive here. Gonna no shield the Future Sight. That does massive damage onto my Skeledirge. Can I get to another Shadow Ball? Unfortunately, I can't. Gonna end up shielding the Grass Knot. Ooh, kind of a bad shield on my end, but in comes the Ampharos here. Shadow Ball gonna be doing maximum damage. No shields left for my opponent, and I can just let this go. I can come into my Alolan Sandslash. I can get a massive farm down here. Gonna have to shield this Brutal Swing, which I'm guessing it's gonna be, because I don't want my Alolan Sandslash to go down with all this energy. We get the farm down, and that is huge. What wants to come in to a loaded Alolan Sandslash? Well, it's gonna be a Poliwrath. And we have a Cresselia to hard counter this Poliwrath. Unfortunately, we kind of hard countered their safe swap and their last Pokemon, but they're able to get the Scald debuff, now come into their own Cresselia, but it's not going to matter. We can Moonblast this thing, potentially Psycho Cut this Cresselia all the way down. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to get too low where a Scald could potentially take us out. So I'm going to farm up just a bit over the Moonblast here, go for the Moonblast, take out the Cresselia, and we should be able to get this Future Sight before they get to their next Scald. And Future Sight is going to put in so much work here. Look at that, even debuffs it, almost one-shots it. Combo wombo play with the Alolan Sandslash, and that's going to be a good game. Well played to my opponent there. So hopping into the next matchup here. Alolan Sandslash into Dragonite. Amazing lead, you love to see it. Well, my opponent didn't, so they top left. Oh my goodness. I had so many top lefts, let me tell you all. Another great lead here. Alolan Sandslash into Tentacruel, resisting the poison jabs, which is great. Scald puts in a lot of damage, but Drill Run is super effective. Not enough to one-shot, which is quite fine. So I'm going to shield up the Scald here. I want to keep some health on my Alolan Sandslash, because if they're not swapping out of this lead, that must mean they are weak in the back somewhere. So another Drill Run going to be popping off. That takes out the Tentacruel. You love to see it. In comes a Virizion. Out comes my Cresselia, and they have a Giratina there. So this should be game, set, match here. Skeledirge on the Virizion, and Cresselia is going to put in a lot of work against this loaded Cresselia. Shadow Sneak, not going to be enough to one-shot. Shadow Claws are adding up here, but I do have the Moonblast for super effective damage. This should be grabbing my opponent's first shield here, and I can probably make it to one more before they knock us out here. So let's see. Another Shadow Sneak coming in. That doesn't even knock us out, and unfortunately, I go one over, and that's a CMP tie that we lose. Dragon Claw, not enough to one-shot us. We get to the Moonblast here. Moonblast, left, right, good night. And in comes the Virizion. I pull out the Skeledirge, and my opponent top lefts. That's gonna be a good game. What is that, 4 games so far? 3 out of 4 games they top left. That's absolutely insane. So another Ampharos lead. We'll see how we play this one out here. Gonna farm up 7 Shadow Claws here, making sure to throw in the middle of their Volt Switch. That does massive damage, no shield, almost one-shotting that Ampharos. Gonna shield up that Brutal Swing here. I can take one, no problem. It's not a Thunder Punch, non-stab, so we're gonna be able to eat it, and out comes a Pidgeot. Another team core broken by the Alolan Sandslash. Gonna get that first shield with the Ice Punch. Another Ice Punch gonna be coming in here. Ice Punch gets the second shield, and my opponent is all shields down. Perfectly fine with me. They want to go for the Brave Bird to knock us out. That double debuffs them. I come in with the Cresselia, and they're gonna probably double debuff us with the Feather Dance before either swapping out or taking this Future Sight to the face, which I'm gonna throw. Future Sight coming in, maximum damage onto that Pidgeot, and I'm gonna farm up more energy, but they end up swapping out. A little bit of a misplay on my end. Maybe I should have just farmed down, but with the double debuff, I don't think I was gonna be able to get there before they made it to a brutal swing. I am gonna shield up that Brave Bird, and it's a Venusaur back there, so hard countered all the way through, and that's gonna be a beautiful 5-0 set. Another top left, by the way, like Giratina lead, catching all the great leads. Out comes a Virizion, in comes the Skeleturge. Gonna end up no shielding this. It's probably gonna be the Stone Edge. I've seen quite a few Virizions running Stone Edge now, which is quite fine by me. Gonna throw the Disarming Voice here after 2 more Incinerate. So we're at the back-to-back, but my opponent is gonna throw a move. Probably gonna be the bait, but I'm just gonna shield just to be safe. Leap Blade coming in. This is not gonna be enough to knock out. This is not enough for a Stone Edge, so it's just another Leap Blade. We survive, get the full farm down here, and I'm going straight for the Shadow Ball against this Giratina. Shadow Ball going to be doing maximum damage. They did not sneak there, so quite unfortunate to my opponent, so I'm able to get to this Disarming Voice too. That is not enough to KO, and out comes a Poliwrath, in comes a Cresselia, and you know what? It's another top left. GG's, well played to my opponent. Hopping into the next matchup. Ampharos lead, another one. My goodness gracious. Okay, so again, gonna farm up 7 Shadow Claws. My opponent decides to throw, so I will shield up the Thunder Punch. Now that's a stab Thunder Punch. They are gonna be able to knock us out with that, but I'm gonna throw this Ice Punch here. That's gonna get shielded. I'm gonna throw. Nope, not on the CMP tie. So we all shields are down on my end. Gonna throw 1 Shadow Claw, and then another Ice Punch here. Ice Punch should be getting that last shield. I should be throwing the Ice Punch there. I don't think it was quite enough to knock out, but it would have made it so I could have farmed down with another Pokemon. I just lost count, unfortunately. So my opponent is not going to be able to reach a brutal swing versus my Cresselia, which is going to be key damage here. And I don't maximize on my energy, because I had a feeling maybe there were only 1 Volt Switch off of another brutal swing, but I wasn't 100% sure. So now out comes this Giratina, and down health, Giratina is going to be able to take this matchup. So hopefully I can get to another Moonblast, because they're deciding to over farm on energy. Shadow Sneak's not going to beat up the KO from this health range, but they have Shadow Force, massive damage. Goodbye Cresselia, and we get to the Disarming Voice, and it's caught on their own Cresselia. Oh, that is brutal. Everything going wrong in this video, you name it, it's happening. Future Sight on the Cresselia, which does maximum damage, and unfortunately from this, we are going to be losing this game. My opponent outplayed me to the max here. I needed to farm down to have a Disarming Voice ready to go for that Giratina, but unfortunately they get the win. GG's, very well played by my opponent. Hopping into the next matchup here, Alolan Sandslash versus Alolan Sandslash. So what I like to do in this matchup here, I like to throw the Drill Run. I do not want to shield the Drill Run of my own in case it's a bait, and if not, well, so be it. I have a shield advantage, and I come in with my Skeleturge and could just completely farm down. So Skeleturge coming in, I will shield up this Drill Run here. If my opponent wants to bait me, they're going to be able to reach another Drill Run. Unfortunately, we get baited very hard. So now I'm going to have to double shield my Skeleturge. Drill Run would do massive damage, and I wanted to keep some healthier on my Skeleturge. See what my opponent wants to do. They come in with the Ampharos. I'm going for the Disarming Voice bait, hoping to grab that last shield, but they no shield it. That is absolutely savage from my opponent. Oh my gosh, Brutal Swing does massive damage, and they catch the next Disarming Voice on the Poliwrath. We actually get the last shield, and that's gonna win us this game. All I have to do is make it to 3 moves, and we're gonna be able to survive 2 moves from this Poliwrath. No problem. Future Sight gonna be coming in, doing massive damage versus this Poliwrath here. And then from here, I should just be able to Psycho Cut all the way down and throw another Future Sight at that Ampharos. We are double debuffed, but that Ampharos did take some incineration damage. Incineration damage, you like that? And Future Sight is the stab damage here. Not enough to KO, unfortunately, but 1 Psycho Cut is gonna do the trick. GG's, well played to my opponent there. So hopping into the next matchup, another great lead for Lowland Sandslash. They hop into a Virizion, and guess what? It's another top left. My goodness, I've had so many top lefts in this video. It is absolutely bonkers. Good Lord lead. They hop into a Jellicent. I'm completely fine with staying in here. I have two other Pokemon that take super effective damage from dark moves, but we can deal double super effective damage with fairy moves. So I don't really have anything to hit this Jellicent with. I'm gonna call that the first move was just a Surf, which it was, and now we can shield up the next Surf here, as that would be almost enough to KO us, where they could just shield once and farm all the way down. So I will throw the Drill Run here. Drill Run is going to be doing massive damage, making sure to max out on my energy here. Gonna let this one go. Shadow Claw is enough to KO here, and we have the Ice Punch locked and loaded for that Guzzlord. Guzzlord comes in, Ice Punch, not enough to one-shot, but enough to put it into a range where a Moonblast is going to KO. So I decided to come in with my Cresselia here. I'm gonna call it this is just a Dragon Claw. I don't think they're gonna be throwing the... Opponent is baiting here, gonna throw one Cycle Cut, then the Moonblast. Moonblast gets the shield, and what does my opponent want to do? Well, they hop into a Tentacruel, and they quit the match. I want everybody to just figure out how many people top lefted in this video. I think it was like 7 people out of the 10 battles that I showed top lefted. So I'm pretty sure. I have no idea, but thank you all so very much for watching. If you guys are liking the content, please hit that like button, comment if you want to see anything in future. Like always, I will see everybody in the next video, but be sure to hit that subscribe button because it really helps out the channel and it is greatly appreciated. So thank you. See you all in the next one. Bye bye.